Day. And I would like to welcome you all in this live event, which is being organized by KFA Business School. And the name of the program is KFA Business Affairs. My name is Bivechan Khanal, and I'll be your moderator for this live event. And since this is our live session, first episode 1 of such kind, so I guess I need to give you brief information regarding the format of our show. So KFA Business Affairs will come live to you every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. All you need to do is just log into your Facebook and go to the official page of KFA, and you'll find us live over there. So what we basically do in this program is we invite eminent personalities from different sectors, and they join live with us and have discussions regarding different prevailing issues on international or maybe national levels. And they also share their information regarding the sector in which they are involved. So they will update us regarding the current affairs and at the same time give us information regarding our area of interest. And in the process of the discussions, I would also take a few questions from our viewers to hear what our speakers have to say about it. Now, without any further ado, let me introduce and welcome our guest speakers for today's program. So today I have 2 guest speakers with me who've joined us live, and they both are from the aviation industry with profound experience and reputation under their respective names. The first guest whom I would like to welcome and introduce today is Mr. Debendra K.C. He is right now the General Manager of Tribhuvan International Airport. Well, Mr. K.C. is a person who has more than 32 years of experience in the aviation industry. And he is very fond of Nepal's aviation sector, I must say that. And as much as I know him, he is also a very patriotic person. And he served the country as an air traffic controller in different remote sectors of Nepal. And he's also currently designated as the Deputy Director General of Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal. Mr. K.C. is also an instructor of aviation security and has trained a numerous amount of people from aviation background or the aviation enthusiasts, be it the airline employees or the authority personnel. So there are a lot of trainings that he has conducted all these years. And he is also represented the country nationally and internationally in different forums as a speaker and also as a trainer. Mr. K.C., before being associated with Tribhuvan International Airport as the GM, was also the Chief of CANS Academy, and he's also given his service in corporate engineering and also the ANS Directorate of Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal. So this was all about the pre-information of Mr. Debendra K.C. And now I would like to invite and welcome our second guest of the program. His name is Mr. Ghanashyam Acharya. He is the Senior General Manager of Sita Air Private Limited. Well, talking about Mr. Acharya, he is also someone who has more than 30 years of experience in the aviation background. And he is an ex-employee of Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal and has been involved with the regulatory body and different private airline companies of Nepal since many years now. He has participated in different international forums, workshops, and seminars that were related with the aviation industry, and has developed different technical manuals relating to the airline sector. Also, he is a certified flight operations officer, and the license which has been issued to him from Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal and also CATC Bangkok. Talking about his affiliations in different sectors, he was the spokesperson of Airline Operators Association of Nepal, A1, and he's also a board member of Prudential Financial Company Limited. And he has been associated as the main person behind the screen, in different private airline companies, representing the top-level management. To name few, a lot of time he's given to companies like Buddha Air, Simric Air, and Saurya Airlines as well. And he is a very media-friendly person, as much as I know him. You can find him in different places speaking about aviation industry and what are the things to be done to make aviation sector more safe and more secure. So this was all about the introduction and few information that I had gathered about my guest. Gentlemen, welcome to the live session. And thank you once again for accepting our invitation. Before before I move to the official question sessions, I would just like to give our viewers regarding the topic that we will be discussing today. So the topic of our session is impact of COVID-19 and way forward for the airline industry. Since we three belong from the aviation industry, I also am associated with Saurya Airlines as a deputy manager in operations department. So we would be talking various things about aviation industry internationally or nationally, most particularly about Nepal. How has the industry been affected by COVID-19, or in general term, people understand it as coronavirus. So कोरोना भाइरसले अहिले जुन संसारमा हामीलाई आतंक फैलाएको छ, अब हाम्रो देशमा मात्रै होइन, संसारभरि नै, नट इन टर्म्स अफ ओन्ली दि हेल्थ बट अल्सो इन टर्म्स अफ द इकोनोमी, in terms of the social status, and also psychologically पनि हामीलाई जति डिस्टर्ब गरेको छ. We've been here sitting in a lockdown state since many days now, more than a month. अब यसमा 1.5 महिना हुन आँटिसक्यो होइन. So यो सिचुएसनमा it's considered that this pandemic, the most hardest sector because of this pandemic has been the aviation industry. I know there are other sectors also which has been destroyed equally. Aviation being the most sensitive sector, and a sector that requires humongous investment, and also the operation cost is way high. So यस्तो sensitive industry मा कसरी यसले impact पारेको छ, or what are the things that is being implemented or being done from the airline part of airlines part, be it the airline companies or from the authorities parts, and even as passengers, how we should be aware of things, before we travel when the lockdown is over. So yeah, आदि इत्यादि कुरामा आज हामी will talk with our guest whom we have live with us. So with due permission from my guest, both of them, I would like to start the question sessions now. So if I may.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So my first question would go to Mr. Debendra K.C. Sir, what impact do you see with regard to the contribution made from the aviation industry to the country's economy due to the adverse effect of this pandemic?
Thank you, Bivechan ji, and those who are supporting technically, Sanju and Sudeep. Thanks, KFA Business, selecting us for this program. Since this COVID-19 declared pandemic, the country is facing a huge problem. Not only our poor country, almost all the countries of the world are facing trouble. But to cope for this pandemic situation, we must work together. The concerned authorities must work together. A simple example we can give you, to all the viewers also, is every year this Tribhuvan International Airport was earning 9.1 billion rupees. So this year, fiscal year, we start from Shravan to Asar. So what we do is in Nepali fiscal year. So this year we have already earned more than 5.5 billions. But because of this 3 month, almost zero passenger flights, let's say. When WHO declared that it's pandemic, and this country has been locked down by the government of Nepal, that is a very good decision, I must say, in coordination with all the concerned authorities. They did a very good job. And we are yet, we don't have any death. So that's a good news for us. And for this, what we are saying, we have a saying in because we are relying on tourism industry. One of the major industry is tourism industry in Nepal for the earning sector. So we are relying on this business, and since we are concerned with this business for long, this type of situation never came. There used to come some days, few days, few weeks, but it's a terrible one. So government is equally taking care for this situation and how to cope with this, and whatever types of orders, instructions, rules, regulations are there. In the country, internationally and nationally. IQ, IATA, WHO, Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, Government of Nepal, TIA. We have some documents, and according to them, we are trying to maintain the safety first. So for that, the most important thing in this case is health. So health industry, I mean health Ministry of Health and Population, they are working very much closely together with the all the other concerned ministries. So to address this problem, TIA is serving not only for TIA. This is serving for the whole airports of Nepal.
Exactly.
Every airports are getting trouble now, and most of the airports, few of them are sustainable. Most of the airports of Nepal are service sectors. By the earning of TIA, the other airports are breathing. So in this situation, we are facing trouble. That means a tourist comes in Nepal will be, I mean, benefited more than 9 Nepalese, we say, in tourism. So 9 people are directly affected now, right? So
Yes.
by that, every other organization, Han, Tan, Nata, I mean, tourism sectors are getting very trouble. Not only that, see, our main earning was remittance also. So this time, whole world is panic. So we are getting trouble. So for that, government is working very hard in coordination with, in line with the WHO guidelines, ICAO guidelines, and there is a high level committee, and at the airport level also we have a committee, and presently we are, I mean, operating only evacuation flights, I mean rescue flights, those charters, those are bringing all those relief materials, that is health materials for the nation, and international carriers they are bringing from the abroad, and the domestic carriers they are serving inside the nation. This way we are trying to maintain the present situation, but the final order will be coming from the government of Nepal, and we are there to serve as much as we can.
Yes, it's in fact the whole industry has been hit very hard because of this pandemic, and we're sure the government is doing all it can to bring things back to normal. And so, as per you, how long do you see this happening, and when the airline industry might come out of this humongous loss? I mean, if we are just to see a tentative timeline from now.
Well, I'm not an economist, but I'm a professional air traffic controller. My background is science, but what I can see from this, I mean, pandemic situation is at least it will take 1 year. But Nepalese are brave. We are beautiful country. Our heart is very good. So our, I mean, hospitality is very good. So hope that after 1 year, starting from slow motion, will definitely pick up. So we have a beautiful example of the 2015 earthquake. It was badly hit, but later on people started resuming normal. So what we suppose is, since the government is working very hard for this, I mean, addressing for the COVID-19. So we hope, my hope is positive, and we will be starting with the government's approval initially. I think most probably from the domestic carriers, and
Right.
then after the international carriers. That way we will go, I think.
Particularly airline companies को पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ what do you think now airline companies immediate action should be done to I mean cope up with the adverse effect of this pandemic?
See what is happening this time. Everybody wants to breathe now. Everybody wants to be safe now. But in this condition also, international and domestic carriers, they are supporting for the relief and the evacuation flights. But if the world's, I mean, the death rate and the pandemic situation goes down and down, okay, that will definitely give a good signal to our country also. And unless the international carriers start, I mean, they will apply for the operation in Nepal, or the domestic carriers will start the I think, I don't know whether this is true. uh, let What we can do presently is, for the initial good signal, we can do that wherever in our country also, those areas which are not affected or less affected, in those airports, I mean in those sectors, we may start with the government's approval. And we see this thing. And the international, this depends upon WHO, this depends upon ICAO, and this depends upon the honorable, I mean the government of Nepal. I cannot really answer that, but we airport people, with the coordination with all the concerned agencies here, we had a meeting today also, so we'll make a SOP for that. So making all those standard operating procedures, how to start the airport. We have to start at any condition, not compromising safety and security. So for that, airlines and we people work together, immigration, custom, health ministry, right? We must work together, and we have to have a good sign, good I mean relation, information to the outsiders, to attract the
Very
people.
true, sir. Now, sir, just sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I've been getting comments from our viewers. They've been wanting us to speak in Nepali also, and so I'm के गर्न सक्छु भने we can use both the language for I mean our viewers to make it more effective.
Sure, sure.
So I mean
Thank
Nepali र English मिलाएर गरेर we can have this conversation. So my next question would go to Ghanashyam sir. Sir,
Yes.
it's obvious that airline companiesहरूले अहिले एकदमै लस बेयर गरिराख्नु भएको छ. I mean, we've been hit very hard, as I said earlier. But to what extent do you see airline companies suffering, even after the lockdown is over and we start flying, in terms of the revenue?
थ्याङ्क यू विवेचन। अब यो मैले चाहिँ के भन्छु भने एयरलाइन इन्डस्ट्रीलाई, एभिएसन इन्डस्ट्रीको रूपमा मात्रै हेऱ्यो भने अलिकति गलत हुन्छ। यो चाहिँ पर्यटनसित डाइरेक्ट टाइअप भएको छ। पहिलोको दोस्रो कुरो के छ भने नेपालको डाटा इन्डिकेटरहरूले एभिएसन इन्डस्ट्रीको कन्ट्रिब्युसन इकोनोमीमा, जिडिपीमा कति छ भनेर अझै पनि एभिएसन इन्डस्ट्रीको छुट्याएको छैन, जसले पनि यो पार्ट अफ टुरिज्मको रूपमा भित्र आउँछ हैन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब टुरिज्मको कन्ट्रिब्युटरी विङको रूपमा एभिएसन इन्डस्ट्री चलिरहेको छ। हामीले जुन टुरिस्टहरूलाई दिइरहेको सेवा छ, हामी एयरलाइनहरू नेपालमा टुरिस्ट आएन भने इम्प्याक्ट चाहिँ टोटली डिभास्टेटिङ हुन्छ र यो चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म सोच्न नसकेको, क्याल्कुलेसन गर्न नसकेको डिभास्टेसनको रूपमा अगाडि आउँछ र यसलाई हामीले चाहिँ अब त्यसको लागि हामीसित यथेष्ट डाटा पनि छैन। अहिले नेपाल टुरिज्म बोर्ड, नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क, अर्थ मन्त्रालय, पर्यटन मन्त्रालयहरूले डाटाहरू कम्पाइलेसन फेजमा हुनुहुन्छ। त हामीले यसलाई डेफिनेटली हेर्दाखेरि प्री कोरोना र पोस्ट कोरोनाको रूपमा हेरिदिनु पर्ने हुन्छ। तर एज ए अपरेटरको हिसाबले अहिले मेरा जहाजहरू एउटा जहाजले दिनको के अरे 5-10वटा फ्लाइट गरिरहनु पर्ने हो, एउटा पनि नगरेर बसिरहेको अवस्थामा यसको इम्प्याक्ट त अनप्रेसिडेन्टेडै छ अहिलेलाई।
पक्कै पनि सर, किनभने एज पर इन्टरनेसनल एयर ट्रान्सपोर्ट एसोसिएसन आइएटाको अनुसार पनि the estimated loss in terms of revenue for overall aviation industry would be $314 billion US dollars. That is 55% declined, from the previous year. So it's a humongous challenge for the aviation industry as a whole. So, sir, my next question would go to again Debendra sir. अहिले हाम्रो घनश्याम सरले जसरी टुरिस्टको कुरा गर्नुभयो, सो वी हेभ अ च्यालेन्ज वे इन टुरिस्ट आउने कुरामा यति च्यालेन्जहरू आइरहेछ। सो अब यो रेस्ट्रिक्सन जुन अहिले May 15 सम्म सरकारले राखेको छ, सो डु यु सी एनी चान्सेस अफ द रेस्ट्रिक्सन गोइङ बियोन्ड द डेट that is May 15?
Once again, this question is directly related to the decision from the government. But what we can see is, as I already stated, the domestic airlines will start first. This is a kind of signal from the government. When the preparation at the departures and arrivals with the airlines will be completely, I mean, set up. We have a setup there already, but we want to further strengthen the facilities to address the people. Okay, our airports are safe, our aircrafts are safe. Let us suppose maybe aircraft may have maybe half seats now, right? By that, airlines may be badly affected. So definitely they have to increase the, airfare. So that will again affect to the people. But since our beauty is there forever, our country is a natural beauty country. I hope that, I mean, tourists will definitely come to Nepal if we can assure them over the, for God's sake, if no pandemic, this the COVID-19 will be further spreading in our country, for us, people will be attracted.
So you believe there won't be a drastic fall in terms of the frequency of tourists coming to the country, sir?
That may be reduced. Yeah, everywhere they are in trouble. I know that may be reduced, but we can attract people. Especially, you came to the point. We can, let us suppose, initially attract Indian and Chinese tourists. Right? They are nearby. They
Yes.
know about us very nicely. We may not give every information to the outside world, but it's a IT world we can give. But the 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 extent the Chinese and Indians are understanding Nepalese, others may not. So we can attract these people, these tourists.
And And what about the international Nepalese airline companies जुन नेपालको इन्टरनेसनल सेक्टरमा अपरेट गर्ने एयरलाइन्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ त्यो एयरलाइन्सको बिजनेस or what sort of adverse effect will they have or have they been already suffering because of this
Sure.
pandemic?
Yeah, they are already suffering. Every airlines, not only national carriers, every airlines are suffering very badly. It's hard to breathe. But the present condition is to, I mean, survive, right? So for the
Yes.
survival, after we survive, then we can serve for the organization. So this is first, the issue is health issue. So one must be healthy, or one must be free from COVID-19, right? So for that, I mean, country is doing very hard, exercises. Every day I hear that our DG every time say that meetings are going and going on with the high level committee. At the same time, they have already told us for the, I mean, better arrangements at the airport, and we are in coordination with the AWAN, the domestic one, and the European, the international airline companies, how to go together, how to serve them. And since the most effect is there with the airlines, they are facing trouble. They have spent a huge money for that. So they must have worked hard also. We have heard that one also. So we are in the same boat. We will work together. We will serve together.
Yes, definitely. The situation is negative in many ways, but we all have to join our hands together and bring the positive impact
Sure.
to this industry in days to come. And also, regarding the frequency of the international flights, do you see any changes happening in the frequency of the international flights?
International flight frequency, we used to have 40 flights a day. Now we have maybe one or two flights a day. But later on,
Yes.
what we have supposed is, since the seat capacity may be reduced, and there will be a, I mean, a spacing for that. So time spacing must be there, right, at the airports. So making there safe. Yeah, it's a responsibility of ours to make flyers safe. So I mean, passengers safe. So for that, maybe the flight frequency will definitely reduce. Let us suppose if a carrier is doing 4 flights a week, they might reduce to 2 flights a week.
All right. So that might be the scenario because, as per IATA, again, I have the data with me. Until June 2020, there has been a flight cancellation of 4.5 million tickets. So it's a
Mhm.
humongous things, and the impact will surely be in our country as well. Uh, all right, then I go to Ghanshyam sir again. Would what do you think? Would stall sector be more affected than the trunk route sector? In terms of domestic flights. Before you answer this question, I would just like to explain to our viewers, stall यो ट्रङ्क सेक्टर भनेको चाहिँ के हो भनेर. स्टल भनेको सर्ट टेक अफ ल्यान्डिङ सेक्टर भन्छ. जस्तो दुर्गम क्षेत्रमा हामी जुन उडान गर्छौँ, लुक्ला भयो, जोमसोम, फाप्लुहरू, यिनीहरू भनेको चाहिँ स्टल सेक्टरमा टेक्निकली वी टर्म इट इन एभिएसन सेक्टर. र ट्रङ्क रुट सेक्टर भनेको सुगम क्षेत्र, जस्तो विराटनगर, चन्द्रहरी, भैरवा जस्तो सेक्टरलाई हामी ट्रङ्क रुटमा क्याटेगोराइज गर्छौँ. सो now since I've mentioned the meaning of stall and trunk route, I would go back to Ghanashyam sir. Stall sector चाहिँ ट्रङ्क रुट सेक्टर भन्दा अझ बेसी इफेक्ट भएको देख्नुहुन्छ हजुर यो पेन्डेमिक पछि?
Obviously, विवेचन स्टल सेक्टरको पहिले कुरा गर्दाखेरि हामीले के बुझ्नुपर्छ भने नेपालको दुर्गम ठाउँ जहाँ चाहिँ सजिलै सडक यातायातको पहुँच छैन, त्यहाँ बस्का जनताहरूलाई चाहिँ छोटो र सजिलो तरिकाले चाहिँ यातायातको साधन नर्मल प्लस इमर्जेन्सीमा सेवा र सामानहरू ढाउनको लागि भनेर प्लान गरेर बनाएको सर्भिस हो. अब हाम्रो स्टल अपरेटरहरू जो हुनुहुन्छ, हामीहरू छौँ, हामी जम्मा 3 जना छौँ. 3 जना स्टल अपरेटरहरूको मेजर बिजनेस चाहिँ टुरिस्टमा बेस्ड छ हैन. र टुरिस्ट इन्कमहरू कम्पेरिटिभली कसरी बुझ्न सकिन्छ भने स्टल अपरेसनको रेभेन्यूको 80% टुरिस्ट बेस्ड इन्कम हो है. त्यसै गरी अब स्टल सँगसँगै जोड्दाखेरि हेलिकप्टरहरूको अलमोस्ट 90% रेभेन्यू टुरिस्ट बेस्ड छ. अब त्यसको तुलनामा यो कति डिपेन्डेन्ट छ भन्ने बुझ्नको लागि ट्रङ्क रुट अपरेटर जो चाहिँ तराईका एयरपोर्टहरूमा, ठुला एयरपोर्टमा उडान गर्नुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूको टुरिस्ट कम्पोजिसन एराउन्ड 25% छ हैन. भनेपछि इन्टरनेसनल टुरिस्ट ल्याउने इन्टरनेसनल एयरलाइन्स ल्यायो, उहाँहरूले आफ्नो फ्रिक्वेन्सी र क्यापेसिटी घटाउनु भयो भने टुरिस्ट आउँदैन. त्यो त कन्भिनियन्सको कुरा आयो. क्वेसन के छ भने टुरिस्ट आउने बाहिरको मुलुक बढाऊ, बाहिरबाट टुरिस्ट आउँछन् कि आउँदैनन् भन्ने, द्याट्स मोर इम्पोर्टेन्ट क्वेसन. किनभने बाहिर इन्टरनेसनल क्यारियर्स कमिङ टु नेपाल विल बी हाइली इफेक्टेड. द्याट्स द नम्बर 1. बिकज IATA सेज होइन, आउट अफ 294 member airlines, only 30 airlines were profitable pre-corona. Only imagine, only 30 airlines profitable pre-corona. Now, what is going to happen to remaining 260 plus airlines and those 30 airlines? Obviously, capacity constant in the world, price will go up and people's buying power will decrease, so they will less travel. And because leisure travel, obviously business travel will increase because business will never stop. So leisure travel will reduce, tourist inflow to Nepal will be less. So less tourists, less the income for stall operators. And this is not and in any airline business, whether it is stall or trunk or helicopter, revenue management is the key. So unless there is revenue flow, I don't think this season is already gone, like up to June होइन. अब आउने सिजनको भविष्य के छ भन्ने कुरामा म यसलाई एभिएसन र ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन भन्दा पनि आई वान्ट टु लुक एट इज ए हेल्थ क्राइसिस होइन. एन्ड इट इज ए हेल्थ क्राइसिस. सो अनलेस दिस हेल्थ क्राइसिस इज सल्भ, people will very reluctant to travel. Very simple.
Very true, sir. Similarly, sir, Ghanashyam sir, I would like to place another question. It's more or less certain forecast के गरिएको छ भने the aviation fuel price is surely to go down. यदि aviation fuel price घटेको खण्डमा airline industry might have a situation where they need to lower down the ticket price, but ticket price भोलिको दिनमा low गरेर पनि sustain हुने environment त हुँदैन. So what will be the scenario? How will the airline companies be marketing their seats in terms of the ticket fare, and के हामी एउटा dirty competitions in terms of ticket fare? So what will be the aviation industry be witnessing in terms of marketing in days to come?
With regard to the fall in oil price?
Sorry, sir?
With regard to the fall in oil price?
With regard to the fall in oil price, there is a situation where the airline companies might need to lower down the ticket fare, or will they be able to lower down the ticket fare? What will be the scenario? How will they market the seats?
Well, नेपालको परिप्रेक्ष्यमा इन्टरनेसनल oil price घटेर ड्रामेटिक इफेक्ट चाहिँ पर्दैन, किनभने नेपालको oil सप्लाईको मेकानिजमै अब यस्तो गभर्मेन्ट कन्ट्रोल र फनी भन्छु म, किनभने मोनोपोली छ। आयल प्राइस घटेपछि नेपालमा त्यसको इफेक्ट पर्दैन। लाइक मैले यसलाई चाहिँ केसित तुलना गर्छु भने, लाइक नेप्लिज रुपिज इज पेक्ड विथ इन्डियन रुपिज, नेप्लिज आयल प्राइस इज पेक्ड विथ इन्डियन आयल प्राइस। सो बेसिकली हामी डोमेस्टिक एयरलाइन अपरेटरहरूलाई चाहिँ फाइदा चाहिँ हुँदैन। अब धेरै झगडा गर्दाखेरि बल्ल बल्ल हामीले केही घट्छ, तर एउटा कुरा आयल प्राइस घटेर चाहिँ एयरलाइनलाई भन्दा पनि के बुझ्नुपर्छ भने द बेनिफिट गोज डाइरेक्टली टु द प्यासेन्जर। किनभने हाम्रो सिभिल एभिएसन र मिनिस्ट्रीसित के एरेन्जमेन्ट छ भने, वेन एभर द प्राइस इज go down, we reduce the fuel surcharge and the benefit is to the passenger. When the oil prices goes up, obviously passenger has to pay more. So basically airline gets nothing. We just intermediary for the oil price. Nepal ko oil mechanism supply system, unless there is a competition, international oil price घट्नुमा एयरलाइनलाई खासै बेनिफिट चाहिँ हुँदैन र त्यसले हाम्रो एयरलाइनको टिकटिङ मार्केटिङमा निल इफेक्ट आउँछ।
अलराइट देन, यही सन्दर्भमा म एउटा अर्को क्वेसन थप्न चाहन्छु घनश्याम सर। जस्तो मार्केटिङकै पर्सपेक्टिभबाट कुरा गर्ने हो भने देयर इज अ सिनेरियो वेयर अब भोलि लकडाउन खुलेपछि पनि अपरेट गर्नको लागि वी निड टु किप सम सोसियल डिस्टेन्सिङ। सो सोसियल डिस्टेन्सिङ लाई मध्यनजर राखेर अपरेट गर्दाखेरि अकुपेन्सी अभियसली पनि घटेर जानेछ, आई मिन एयरलाइन कम्पनीजहरूको। सो त्यस्तो कन्डिसनमा हाउ विल मार्केटिङ डिपार्टमेन्ट अर द मार्केटिङ टिम अफ द एयरलाइन कम्पनी रियाक्ट?
विभेचन नम्बर वान कुरो, अब ट्रङ्क एयरक्राफ्टहरूमा अलि धेरै नम्बर अफ सिट भएको हुनाले दे मे बी इन बेटर पोजिसन टु म्यानेज सिट्स। ओके, स्टल एयरक्राफ्ट नर्मली 18 सिटको हुन्छ। अब रिटर्न लोड, रिटर्न फ्युल अपलोड लिएर जानुपर्ने भएको हुनाले सिट क्यापेसिटी प्यासेन्जर क्यापेसिटी घटेर इट गोज ब्याक टु 14 or 15 होइन। अब इमेजिन गरौँ, आउट अफ 15 अभाइलेबल सिट्स, हाउ वी आर गोइङ टु मेक सोसल डिस्टेन्सिङ इन द एयरक्राफ्ट एन्ड मेक द्याट एयरक्राफ्ट प्रफिटेबल, बिकज वी क्यानट change the price. It is government controlled. Obviously not all people can afford high price हैन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो बडो ट्रिकी सिचुएसन छ र यसमा हामी के एक्सपेक्ट गर्छौँ भने गभर्मेन्ट विल थिङ्क एयर ट्राभल इज ए लाइक अ पब्लिक गुड्स इन द हेल्थ क्राइसिस, लाइक फुड सप्लाई, एजुकेसन, हेल्थ, security. If these are essential to the general public of Nepal, then government should come forward and think air transportation is a public goods, because airline itself उनीहरू टुल मात्रै हो क्या, टु ट्रान्सपोर्ट one person from another person। यसमा जबसम्म गभर्मेन्टको इन्टरभेन्सन हुँदैन एयरलाइनहरूले गर्न सक्ने ठाउँै छैन। आइदर दे हेज टु अपरेट अर दे हेज टु स्टप।
Alright, thank you for that wonderful answer, sir. Ani, I don't see Debendra sir on my screen right now. Debendra sir, can you hear me? Debendra sir? Alright, due to some technical glitches, I guess Debendra sir is not connected with us for the time being. I'm sure he'll come back to us very soon. So, Ghanashyam sir, I would like to continue with you. अब हामी अलिकति प्यासेन्जर्सको पर्सपेक्टिभबाट पनि कुरा गरौँ, किनभने अहिलेको टाइममा जुन ह्याभक यो क्रिएट भएको छ, विच इज भेरी अभियस। सबैको मनमा एउटा डर पसेको छ कि अब कसरी ट्राभल गर्ने, कसरी अब क्राउडमा अगाडि आउने यो लकडाउन खुलेपछि पनि। सो इट्स स्योर द्याट एयर ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन को पार्टबाट पनि मान्छेहरूले सोच्दाखेरि पिपल विल हेजिटेट टु फ्लाइ इमिडिएटली। सो what do you think airline companies should do to make the passengers feel safe and confident again to fly?
Okay, this is a health concern.
Yes.
Airline only cannot do anything hearing. अब for example हैन, सबै एयरलाइनहरूले अहिलेको अवस्थामा they have prepared a guideline to transport passengers, like safety measures, disinfecting the aircraft after the flight, cleaning the seats, wearing masks and gloves during the check-ins. These are the measures airlines can do. But if the traveling passenger is not aware about the effect of COVID-19, like it takes normally minimum after 3 to 4 weeks to identify if you are infected or not, even if you are infected. That is a normal norm. But
Very
government should promote like what is the protocol. Even if you are in touch with the infected person, unless you ingest the droplets of virus through your nose or mouth, there is no almost nil chance of getting infected. So use mask, use glove, but it is airline can has limited resources to inform the passenger only. But ultimate thing is that the government should inform the passengers before they come to the aircraft. Otherwise, they will not desire to travel in the flight.
very true.
They
Self-awareness is very important.
sorry, I could
Self-awareness
not
is
get.
very important. As
Yeah,
passengers,
no,
one needs to be self-aware.
yeah, we can educate to our crew, we can educate to our staffs, we can raise awareness to the our own passengers. But those people who wants to be our passengers or any airline's passengers, they need to be aware, and that's the job of state. And
So
just now,
self-awareness.
no, you may hear in that in telephone ringtone that when you call somebody, you do wash your hands, you avoid this, don't get in contact. I think that is not enough. To promote the air travel, first the government has to think as a public goods. It is an important measure to transport people. So that if the government and the regulator think that is a luxury travel, it is not going to happen.
Very true, sir. यो त सेल्फ अवेरनेसको कुरा भयो हामीले गरेको प्यासेन्जर्सहरू आफै पनि अवेर हुनुपर्छ बट वाट अबाउट द एयरलाइन कम्पनीज have there been any specific procedures or I mean measures that has been established by the airline companies
Yeah,
right now
yes,
to deal with this situation?
like yes, of course. Like for in my case, I'm the senior general manager of Sita Air. What we have done, like we, though we are not allowed to engage in the regular passenger service at this because all domestic travel has been suspended, but with government permission, we are transporting food supplies to Simikot Airport from Nepalganj and Surkhet. And occasionally, what we do, we got permission from Ministry of Home Affairs to transport people. So whenever we get those chance, we have a procedure. We check in with mask and gloves. If the passenger do not have, we provide to them, and then they are properly informed the procedures, what to do, what not to do. Then before boarding the aircraft, we again sanitize their hand and we immerse their feet into the disinfectant before stepping up in the aircraft. That's what we are doing at the moment if we have to transport the passengers. But the passenger travel, general public traveling is at the moment is suspended. It is a government control um, commodity.
All right, so what about the procedures if there has been any process made for the cargo flight, I mean cargo flights, किनभने कार्गोहरू पनि ट्रान्सफर त भइरहेछ एक ठाउँबाट अर्को ठाउँ सो त्यसको लागि केही प्रोसिजर्सहरू छ कि
Yeah, see, cargo normally they comes 1 day before or 2 days before, and if the virus does not get in contact with any person, it has got its own life. By the time it goes to the aircraft after 24 hours,
Yes.
we are told that it will die its own death.
All right. So
So we
that
just
is
load them. Yeah.
yeah. So that is what the procedure has been made for the cargo flights. So, and I'm also in the meantime trying to get connected with Devendra sir, but I guess I need some more time. So let's have discussion with you, sir, till the time he is back with us. Now let's talk about the job layoff. I mean, there has been numerous questions that has been raised regarding the job scenario that is going to happen, or is there any problem? So, is there a possibility of job layoffs by Nepalese airline companies as a result of this pandemic? How do you see?
Well, this is the question. This is the question. Uh, we have to be very truthful while answering as a airline professional. The ultimate result will be that we have to keep a balance between income and expenses. The current does not generate enough revenues, so the out of 4 aircraft, only 2 aircraft will fly. Out of 12 aircraft, only 6 aircraft will fly. Obviously, there will be layoff. Now, the how we lay off? We permanently lay off, we temporarily lay off, or we do a partial layoff. That's we have been contemplating, because we are not yet sure how this post-corona scenario will develop. So we are crossing our fingers at the moment. But to be very truthful to your question, there will be layoffs, definitely.
All right. So if that is the thing, जुन हजुरले lay off को chances छ भन्नुभयो. So यसको निवारण अथवा to come out of with a solution for this, don't you think there's a possibility of relief packages from the government? Government को पार्टबाट कुनै relief packages हरु as such आउनु पर्छ जस्तो तपाईलाई त पक्कै पनि लाग्छ, तर do you see any possibility of it?
अब गभर्मेन्टले रिलिफ दिँदा त राम्रो हो हैन, धुनु पनि पर्छ. क्वेसन के छ भने मैले अघि सुरुमा तपाईले सोध्नु भएको प्रश्नको जवाफमा के भनेको थियो भने गभर्मेन्टले डाटा कलेक्सन गरिरहेछ. राष्ट्र बैंक, अर्थ मन्त्रालय, टुरिज्म बोर्डले कलेक्ट गरेर दे आर वर्किङ अन अ मोडलिटिज. र अहिलेसम्म देशको राहतको नाममा चाहिँ यो अन्तिम चौमासिकको एयरलाइनहरूले लिएको ऋणको ब्याजको 2% छुट दिनुभएको छ हैन. लाइक इफ द इन्ट्रेस्ट रेट इज 10%, अब हामीले 8% तिर्नुपर्छ. क्वेसन उहाँहरूले हामीलाई के सोध्नु भएन भने तपाईको 2% त हामी घटाइदिन्छौँ, तर तपाईको इन्कमै 0 छ भने त्यो 8% पनि कसरी तिर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने क्वेसन उहाँहरूले नसोध्ने हिम्मत गर्नुभयो, न हामीलाई बोलाउनु हैन. हामीले चाहिँ यो एसोसिएसनको तर्फबाट कुरा राखेका छौँ. अब फर्दर एनालाइसिस भएपछि फर्दर प्याकेज केही होला. तर एउटा कुरामा म के ढुक्क छु भने गभर्मेन्टसित पैसा छैन, रेभेन्यू घटेको छ हैन. अब 3 महिना बाँकी छ, रेभेन्यूको 90% के अरे 50-60% भन्दा बढी उठाएको छैन. गभर्मेन्टसित रेगुलर इन्कमको एक्सपेन्सेसको लागि पैसा छैन. त्यो अवस्थामा कस्तो राहत आउँछ भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ बडो धैर्यपूर्वक कुर्नुपर्ने अवस्था छ. अहिले उहाँहरूले दिनुभएको राहत चाहिँ टु लिटिल टु लेट हो भन्छु मैले.
So your condition, sir, don't you think payroll subsidy would be one very good solution coming out from the government?
Payroll subsidy?
हजुर सर.
अब गभर्मेन्टको सेयर नभएको प्राइभेट एयरलाइनहरुमा गभर्मेन्टले कसरी सब्सिडी देला हैन? द्याट्स ए वान क्वेसन. नेपाल एयरलाइन्स जसलाई चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टको इन्टिटी हो, त्यसलाई दिने विषयमा चाहिँ सबैको एकमत राय होला. किनभने नेपालको अल 20 एयरलाइन्स प्राइभेट एयरलाइन्सहरु प्राइभेटली ओन्ड हैन. प्राइभेटली ओन्ड कम्पनीलाई अहिलेको कानुन अनुसार यु क्यानट मेक इट मर्ज टु मर्ज इटसेल्फ भनेपछि जब त्यो अवस्था छैन भने सब्सिडी दिनलाई चाहिँ उनीहरूले नीति नियमै बाधा हुन्छ होला. पेरोलको सब्सिडी दिँदैन. सब्सिडी दिने बाटोहरू छन्. अब फर इक्जाम्पल आई क्यान गिभ यु लाइक हङकङ गभर्मेन्टले के गर्यो भने क्याफे पेसिफिकको 5 लाख सिट इन एडभान्स किनेर हैन. सो क्याफे पेसिफिक गट द मनी, गभर्मेन्ट गट द सिट विच दे क्यान युज थ्रु आउट द इयर. गभर्मेन्ट अफिसियल्स त्यसै गरी नै हाम्रो पनि त गर्न सकिन्छ नि त. नेपाल टुरिज्म बोर्डले अब पर्यटक विधा, पर्यटन, आन्तरिक पर्यटन विधा भनिएको छ. सबै एयरलाइनहरुको यति नम्बर अफ सिट चाहिँ हामी तिमीको किनिदिन्छौँ, विल फन्ड यु फर इन एडभान्स. केही त क्याश फ्लो आउँछ एयरलाइनहरुलाई. यस्तो तरिकाले इनोभेटिभ तरिकाले चाहिँ हाम्रो सोध्ने परिपाटी अझै बसिसकेका छैन. हामी स्टिल भेरी ब्युरोक्रेटिक मोडमै छौँ होइन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि राहत आउनुपर्छ, तर अब कसरी आउँछ मोडलिटी थाहा छैन।
Very true, sir. यस्तो टाइममा गभर्मेन्टबाट पनि एक्सपेक्टेसन पक्कै पनि हुन्छ र there's another question that I want to add up with this, sir. Can airline companies expect certain waiver in terms of the financial obligations, जस्तो ब्याङ्क लोन, इन्सुरेन्स प्रिमियमको कुरा अथवा ट्याक्सेस अथवा ल्यान्डिङ पार्किङ फिज एन्ड अदर रिक्वायर्ड फिज जुन अथोरिटिजहरूको छ त्यस्तो पार्टमा कुनै वेभरहरू क्यान बी एयरलाइन कम्पनीज एक्सपेक्ट, or is there a possibility? How do you see it?
अभियसली एयरलाइन हामीलाई अहिले के हुने भने झन्डै 4,000भन्दा बढी इम्प्लोइमेन्ट, डाइरेक्ट इम्प्लोइमेन्ट भएको कम्पनीमा जब इन्कम छैन भने इन्ट्रेस्ट र ब्याङ्क लोन तिर्न गाह्रो हुन्छ। हाम्रो भनाइ के हो भने एयरलाइन इन्डस्ट्री लगायत अरू पनि इन्डस्ट्री होला, अब अहिले हामी एयरलाइनको कुरा गर्दैछौँ, यिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ लोनको चाहिँ तपाईँ फेसिलिटेसन गरिदिनुहोस्। 1 वर्ष होइन 2 वर्षमा तिर्ने वातावरण मिलाइदिनुहोस्। मोडालिटिज के होला, कसरी गर्ने होला। अब जस्तै के अरे ठुलो कन्ट्री जहाँ चाहिँ $1 ट्रिलियन डलर चाहिँ प्याकेज घोषणा गर्न सक्छ, उनीहरूकोसित हाम्रो तुलना गर्न सकिँदैन, युएसए, अस्ट्रेलिया, जर्मनीसित। तर नेपालको परिप्रेक्ष्यमा गर्न सक्ने के छन् त, त्यो विषयमा चाहिँ अझै पर्याप्त अध्ययन पुगेको चाहिँ छैन होइन। गर्न सकिने चाहिँ ठाउँ छ। अब हामी अझै पनि प्री कोरोना र कोरोनाकै बिचमा छौँ होइन। पोस्ट कोरोना नभइकन यसको केही उपाय निस्किँदैन कि जस्तो लाग्छ। तर त्यसको लागि अहिले नै भयो भने यो भयो भने यो गर्ने, यो भयो भने यो गर्ने। र टु फाइनलाइज योर क्वेसन, 6 महिना 3 महिना 4 महिना दिएर चाहिँ हुँदैन। किनभने एउटा कुरा चाहिँ करिब कस्तो देखिन्छ भने ट्राभल टुरिज्म फोरकास्टले गर्दाखेरि 2020 को इन्डसम्मै टुरिस्टको इन्फ्लो ड्रास्टिकली रिडक्सनमा जान्छ। कति आउँछ थाहा छैन। अब जस्तै गभर्मेन्ट लेभलमा चाइना गभर्मेन्ट, नजिकको छिमेकी इन्डिया गभर्मेन्टलाई रिक्वेस्ट गरेर ल तपाईँहरूको सबै यहाँ टुरिस्ट पठाइदिनुहोस् भनेर त्यहाँबाट बढाउने भन्ने कुरो अर्कै कुरो होला। तर आजको अवस्थामा हामीले हेर्दाखेरि अब 2019मा डोमेस्टिक एयरलाइनहरूले 32 लाख प्यासेन्जर ओसारे थिए भने अब 1 महिना त पुरै खाली गइसक्यो होइन। त्यो 32 लाख त छैन। क्वेसन के छ भने कति प्रतिशत घट्छ भन्ने हो। त्यो हुनासाथै हाम्रो इन्कम घटेपछि अब रेभेन्यू घट्यो भनेपछि पेमेन्ट सिस्टम गोलमाल हुन्छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हामीलाई एटलिस्ट एकुमुलेटेड इन्ट्रेस्टहरू चाहिँ 2 वर्षसम्मको डिफर्ड भयो भने चाहिँ म्यानेज गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ
जस्तो लाग्छ। Anyway, sir, thank you for your insight on this matter. So, पक्कै पनि it's a challenging thing for all of us right now. Near about 1,75,000 jobs are at risk, or they might not be at risk. That time will answer. And as per the data that I have received from IATA, around 50 billion revenue is expected to be wiped out from Nepal's aviation sector because of this pandemic in days to come. So, त्यो पनि situation कन्ट्रोल होस्, त्यसलाई चाँडोभन्दा चाँडो केही सल्युसन निकाल्न सकौँ र लगभग 1,75,000 जना जति कर्मचारीहरू आबद्ध हुनुहुन्छ एभिएसन सेक्टरमा नेपालमा। सो लेट्स अज्युम एन्ड लेट्स एक्सपेक्ट that our jobs will be safe. So I have Mr. Debendra K.C back with us. So welcome back again, sir, and we sorry for the inconvenience to all the viewers. कहिलेकाहीँ यो लाइभ सेसन्स गर्दाखेरि यस्तो टेक्निकल ग्लिचेसहरू पक्कै पनि आउँछ र विल मेक स्योर यो पहिलो एपिसोड भएको कारणले पनि अलिकति समस्या भयो। अब फर्दर डेजमा व्हेन वी मुभ अन विथ द एपिसोड्स विल मेक स्योर थिङ्स ह्यापन मोर स्मुथली। सो सर, मैले आई वाज गोइङ विथ अल द मेनी अफ द क्वेसन्स विथ घनश्याम सर. सो आई हेभ वान क्वेसन फर यु सिन्स यु जोइन्ड अस, देवेन्द्र सर. Let's talk about the precautions measures that are currently established in Kathmandu airports to cope with this situation. If you can brief something about it.
Okay, we were very much cautious about the matter since it started from the China Wuhan. We were in coordination with the health ministry. We established the health desk here, and we have requested all the international carriers to announce inside the aircraft before landing at Kathmandu for the precautionary measures. and they ought to go to the counters, health counters, and after checkup at the counters, if they are found to be suspicious, they have been sent to the Teco hospital or the EDCD. So not only that, we have placed different facilities there at the airport, like there's sanitizers, spraying, and we have requested all the workers inside the airport to wear the mask, to have the gloves, every time to be sanitized, right? At the same time, every passenger should fill a form. Okay, so that self declaration form, this is happening to me, this is not happening to me, their details. And not only civil aviation, with all airlines, with all the immigration, custom, security, they are all together with us. So we are planning to add some more measures like spacing, right, social distancing. For that, we are putting some stickers on that, so that at least 1 meter apart. We have already started that for the departure passengers. After the lockdown also, maybe more than 5,000 tourists have been already evacuated from the country. So we have started that, and at the domestic, we have already started to for the spacing, and we are also calling for the international carriers, and we people together with working here at the TIA to make the requirements given by the ICAO, requirements given by the WHO, and requirements given by the IATA. We are together with them, we are working together with.
Okay, that's good to know. So additional measures पनि आउँदैछ र अहिले पनि the airport has been equipped with all
Exactly.
the precautionary measures that were necessary. So what about the operation guidelines जुन ICAO जस्तो IATA जस्तो अब WHO जस्तो अर्गनाइजेसन्सहरूले बडीहरूले जुन अपरेसन गाइडलाइन्सहरू अहिले इस्टाब्लिस गरेको छ
Sorry, I cannot hear.
Yeah, Bivechan is of the. Ghanashyam, that you can continue. Ghanashyam, that do you hear me? यस्तो राम्रो बनाएको थियो प्रिपरेसन खेर गयो no sound.
हजुरको साउन्ड सुनिएन
छैन, मैले पनि सुनेको छैन। यहाँ आएन।
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Now here
Hello.
it comes. Yeah. Now.
Yeah. All right. So,
I
ladies and
think there is
gentlemen, so
some technical glitches because I cannot see the moderator and Mr. Devendra K.C. So I'm prompted by the host chat. There is a question from gentleman Mr. Kishore Mahajan. He wants to know that what is the approximate per day cost for each airline for keeping their fleet grounded? Would these and do we have any idea? And also need for the pilots to meet the minimum mandatory flying hours every 6 months. How are they going to comply with the need, especially with reduced flights once the flight resumes? Okay. Uh, Let me take the first part of the cost of keeping fleet grounded. Kishore Ji, number one, the cost will obviously vary depending upon the type of the fleet. The basic cost for the grounding will be the airport parking charge. That's the number one, which we have to pay for the to the appropriate airport authority. Then that only won't justify it, because with that it will come the cost of insurance to keep flight grounded and the cost of regular upkeeping maintenance factor, and if त्यसपछि the purchasing cost of the aircraft and associated finance charges to the bank. So these will all differ from the operator to operator, but those are all fixed costs which the airline has to bear. So I can give you a general idea, but cannot provide you at the moment the cost of each aircraft per day for after keeping it on ground. And coming to the next question, what is the minimum mandatory flying hours? Uh, with regard to this, there is no minimum flight requirements, but company based upon their payout system, they do create and maintain sometime mandatory flight hours. But the limitation is in the maximum flight hours. A pilot cannot fly more than 100 hours a month and 290 hours in 3 months and 1000 hours in a year. And to keep their requirement to keep license current, they have to go every 6 months pilot proficiency check, either in the aircraft or in the simulator, based on the type of the aircraft. And with regard to this keeping the currency, Civil Aviation Authority at the moment has given 2 months extension to that renewal requirements. So if the corona crisis is not there anymore after 2 months, then all the training requirements will be come into the effect. We don't know yet what is going to happen if there is restriction in the flight and there is no flights, and how these things prolong. And is there anything else? Okay. So basically, there is no need for the reduced flight requirements. It's only their skill-based knowledge will be reduced. The more they fly, more their skill enhances. Less they fly, their skill will be less. So I understand that will satisfy your answer.
So, Ghanashyam sir, if you can hear me.
No, I'm unable to either see Mr. Debendra K.C. or Mr. Bivechan Khanal.
You can see now?
Okay.
Debendra sir, I'm sure you can see me and hear me, right?
Yeah, hearing.
All right, we've just lost connection with Mr. Ghanashyam Acharya, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I was also lost because of the technical glitches, and I hope I'm back again and ready to bring questions to you. And so, Ghanashyam sir was just, I'm sure, talking about the queries of our viewers. There was a question from Mr. Mohsen, which he just addressed, if I'm not wrong. So, so let's continue. We'll take all the questions of the viewers also. But as we got, disconnected while we were speaking about the safety measures and the guidelines that has been followed by our authority or our airline companies with regard to the international guidelines that has been established. So, uh, is it possible, sir, for all our active airports, in days to come, to be equipped with all the relevant precaution measures to deal with this pandemic?
See, the ISR 2005 and IQ clearly says all those guidelines are for the international airports. But since the effect is for all domestics also, we have already started, installed in coordination with the health and, population ministry at the trunk route airports. We have already installed the minimum requirements there. But to the small airports, thereby now there is no flight at all, very almost zero flight. So this time they are not equipped. But if the government supports, the health ministry supports, the small airports may also have some equipments, may also have some minimum manpower to deal with the pandemic situations.
All right. So let's hope that we'll be able to, have all the precautions measures ready with us in days to come for dealing with the situation. And next question for you would be, sir, what do you think should be the role of the nation's carrier, that is Nepal Airlines, amidst and post the pandemic?
See, I hope that they must be working hard, because the airport level staffs, we are very much close together with them every time. The country have declared lockdown, but our airport is not locked down. We are running our airports
Yes.
for emergency flight, rescue flights, health flights, and we are there. With the minimum manpower, we are running our airports as per the normal situations. So because flights are very less, so manpower is less. But at the higher level also, national carriers, they must have prepared themselves. They must have prepared themselves. And what we have urged or requested or coordinated with them this afternoon also, we had a meeting with them. We have made a SOP, so that that will be applicable for all. And coordinating, because they are not only national carrier, they are also GHA, okay, for Nepal. So their role is very crucial to attract the international airlines here in Nepal. So they must work hard. We are always ready to serve them. We are always ready to give any kinds of advices, supports to them. Even Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, my headquarter, is also ready. Ministry is ready. So I don't think that we'll be uh, running away from them. We are together with them, and they must be working hard. We will come in line together. We have prepared SOP for international and domestic carriers after approval from DG. Of course, we have a, public health emergency guideline 2020 approved by DG already, but that is looks like still insufficient. So for the airport level, we are planning to go with the international carriers and domestic carriers, not only with the national carrier, with all the airlines. We are together.
All right, and yeah, let's expect the situation to remain the same further also. So, and I would like to take one question from Mr. Reshtaza. He is the chairman of KFA Business School, and he has a very positive viewpoint and a positive question to ask to you too as well. अहिले यो जुन पेन्डेमिकले गरेर एउटा हामीमा एउटा कियोस क्रिएट भएको छ र एउटा डर पैदा भएको छ, त्यसले इट्स मोर लेस obvious that people will take some time to travel, because as per the IATA data also that I was going through the other day, around 40% of the people who were surveyed mentioned that they would hesitate to fly for at least 6 months. And the remaining people also, most of them told that since they have been bearing this financial loss, they would still not fly up to the time they are capable enough to, make expenses for the travel. So it's obvious that case समय when people will start flying, they will not opt for high end expensive travel. So they might not choose to travel Europe or any expensive destination. So Nepal, since we've touch wood, we've not been I mean, affected to the extent that the other countries have been. And we let's hope the situation to remain the same. So भोलिको दिनमा यदि नेपालमा यो भाइरस कन्टेन भयो र यो फैलिएन र नेपाल since it's a cheap destination to travel, हुन्छ नि light at the end of the tunnel भने जस्तो, don't you see there is a possibility of people coming to Nepal, since it's a cheap destination than the other countries, and also people might feel secure because the outcome of the pandemic was not up to the extent that what they have been witnessing in other countries. So what do you have to say about this, sir? A very good question and a very good viewpoint from Rashtra, sir.
That's a very positive view, and I'm also saying same thing since we started this session, because Nepal is a beautiful country. Our people are good, our hospitality is good, and our country is safe yet. So what we suppose is, uh, and at the same time, we must not forget that every world people, I mean everybody remaining inside the room, they are getting panic. See, they are locked.
Yes.
Everybody is locked. So people are, maybe they have some kinds of problem. Doctors are giving different types of suggestions to us. The only way, the one of the best way to get rid of those problems is to roam. I mean, travel. If they want to travel in Nepal, and if they from the departure end, they must be checked properly, because every world is scared with this disease, right? So if they are checked thoroughly there and they are safe enough, and we will have some I mean thorough checkup here at the our airports also, so that we will be confident that these people will not spread disease to our country. So that way we can attract the people. It's a very positive thinking. I respect the thinking he raised that. And Nepal is a cheaper destination, that is the truth. World cheaper destination we are, right? So they can come, we are natural. You will be very much surprised. I don't know whether you know or not, the other viewers also know that lot of tourists, they don't want to go back to their home. They want to remain in
Very true.
Nepal. They are saying that Nepal is safe country. Why you are going back? A lot of people were saying that our embassies are sending us forcefully to our country. See, we are safe here. So people definitely, if for God's sake nothing goes wrong, thank God it's not happening yet. If nothing goes wrong, so no mortality means people will definitely come to Nepal. This is our job. This is aviation industry job, and everybody who are involved and benefited from this, I mean, sector, they have to have a advertisement, saying that after one must be safe first. As Ghanashyam Dai said, you said that the first important thing is health. When we are healthy now, why not to come to
Yes,
Nepal? Yeah? Virgin places, we have a lot of places. They can travel there. They can be happy there. Travel,
very
trek
true.
is best way to get rid from this. I mean, a kind of mental pressure, people having these days.
Very true. So let's expect good things to happen in our country. When we are having this fear in our mind, and अबको दिनमा aviation industry के हुन्छ, अथवा are we going to go down, or is it safe to travel? So सधैँ नेगेटिभ कुरा पनि हामीले गर्नु हुँदैन र नेगेटिभ पर्सपेक्टिभबाट पनि हेर्नु हुँदैन. So there are a lot of positive things which we can take out of this conversation, and there are a lot of things to learn from the pandemic that we are facing right now, and take this further to help the country sustain and come out of this problem. So there's another question from Mrs. Jasmine Hada. She's the Director of Academics and Consulting in KFA Business School. So I would just put that question to you, sir. Would it be better to subsidize or even waive off monthly income tax discounts in electricity bills, fair price of food and consumable items, etc., for staff members enrolled in PAN or paying regular monthly tax for certain numbers of months? Can you see that happening?
This depends upon government decision. I may not say, but as Ghanashyam Dai was stating about the, I mean, the payment for the airliners, they have to pay different types of charges for the, I mean, airport authorities like us. But civil aviation is very positive. Even we people from the management committee and the from the board also, if those aircrafts are not flying at all, if they are all ground there, and they are not operating at all, the parking charges may be waived off for the lockdown period, right? so that way government since our minister is honorable minister is there in our board, so they are convinced that airlines are facing very trouble, so we must do something for them. So some I mean wave will be given to all the concerned I mean entities, not only airline industries but others also at the airport level, I think so.
Yes, very true. This, in fact, might just be the indirect subsidies, from the government if the government is not able to bring in relief packages, as per Jasmine Atta, which is very true. Let me just go through other questions, sir, and I'll get back to you because Mr. Ghanashyam Acharya is being connected and disconnected time and again. So I'm sure he'll come back to us very soon. So there is a question from Mr. Isos Ardnak. I'm sorry if I couldn't pronounce your surname. The question is when we can expend above NPR 19 billions in foreign vacation, then why can't we spend those amount in domestic vacation? If we go local and promote local product, I don't think it will be hard to revive Nepalese economy. In fact, what I believe is the best time to rise economy. We can test different models like private public venture startups. This pandemic has helped to expose our health sector and teaches us important of agriculture and give hope of digitalization in days ahead. Yes, of course, Mr. Issues, this is a time to, scrutinize different ventures and work hand in hand and come out with different ways to cope up with the pandemic situation. And if you talk about agriculture and digitalization, this is the maybe the perfect time to do that. So I just took his question, sir. And so if you have anything to say about this.
No, that's again a good idea. Even the government of Nepal also I mean, in stressing for the domestic tourism. Not only international. Why not domestic, right? So people will be traveling, and the intensity of the I mean domestic travel is very much increased these days because of this pandemic. This is stopped, but after this one, people definitely travel. Definitely travel.
Very true.
uh, People are very much eager to go outside the home.
Yeah. So, Ghanshyam sir, can you hear me now? I can see you back online with us. Yes, thank God. Okay, finally we are here. So, Ghanshyam sir, I would like to keep another question to you. There is a question raised by Mr. Basant Bakshi. I just want to read out the question that he has. Post lockdown and air services resumed, the vigilance on passengers coming from abroad shall be a biggest challenge for TIA and for all the airports around the country. I am personally not sure the measures undertaken earlier by the airport authorities were top notch or reliable. Resuming services will not be effective vigilance and quarantine points, and most importantly, the best coordination between airport establishment and related government authorities. The other thing is, all the stakeholders of the aviation industry must be ensure that passengers who opt to fly feel safe on chance of infection by the fleet or airport premises. Without it, masses can avoid air transport. What do you have to say about this, sir? The fear that will come across.
Thank you.
All right, sir. The question has been passed to you.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Ghanshyam Bhai. And as the airport is, I mean, the expansion work is going on. Uh, Yesterday also, the state minister and the DG from the health ministry, they were there, and we have shown them these are the areas where we can build all those structures, infrastructures. We can add some more. We have minimum structures are there. We have given a doctor's room there. We have we have already established the checkpoint there, right? So but now IQ and WHO have stressed, even IATA, they have asked us to increase some more facilities there. So in coordination with the health ministry, we are ready to serve them. We have already given the space to them, shown the space to them. If they wish to improve their facilities there, they are most welcome, right? At the domestic also, we are doing same thing. The
All
facility,
right.
because these things are very much concerned with the health ministry, and they are doing their level best to improve the I mean airport situations, so that people won't be scared, as the questionnaire says, that people must be fear free, right? So for that,
Yes.
as I already stated, from the departure point, the passengers must be safe, right? Same thing
Yes.
happens with the point. So now, not only at the arrival, which we started in the earlier days, we were very much focused only at the arrival, but now our feeling is for both departures and arrivals, all the facilities to be established.
Very true, sir. Thank you so much for that information. And I would like to move on to Ghanashyam sir again, sir. Now let's talk about the role that should be played by AWAN, that is Airline Operators Association of Nepal. So, what do you think should be the role of AWAN, sir, to help airline companies deal with the adverse effect of this pandemic? I'm sorry, you've been cut down again, sir. हजुरको voice एकदम break भएर आइरहेछ, so we couldn't understand. Hello, Ghanashyam sir, can you hear us? All right. We're really sorry for the inconvenience. All right. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, sir? Ghanashyam sir, are you there? All right. Since we've lost him again, sir, I mean, I would again put this question to you. What, as per your perception, sir, what would be the role of AWAN to deal with this situation?
See, Avan is a umbrella organization for the domestic carriers, like IAOCN is the international carriers. They are doing their level best with their available resources. But for this, as we have a lot of domestic carriers, including the helicopter companies, they are serving very nicely to the nation. So they must breathe very nicely, since this is the real product of our country. So we hope that they are trying their level best to remain, I mean, sustainable after this pandemic disease also. But it's not easy. It's not easy. One must work very hard, very precise, and work together. One must work together. It's a not only a case of a single airlines. It's a case of all the airliners, and they are facing trouble. All the aircrafts are grounded since long. It's not easy to survive when aircraft is not flying. No earning. No earning means no eating. Difficult. So they have to serve
Very true.
staffs. So have to work hard together with.
Very true. So all the airline operators of Nepal need to come together, and coordinate to come out with a solution from their own part to deal with this situation and take things further accordingly. I believe they have a huge role to play in days to come. And also, sir, now since you are the only speaker I have available with me, so there were a few questions which I had opted for consensus. So I would like to put the question to you, and I would also take his consent, when he is back. What about the rotorcraft companies? By rotorcraft, I mean, this is for the viewers. the helicopter companies. What will be the scenario for them, and what should they do in days to come?
See, Ghanshyam, I already said that the helicopters are 90% relying on tourists, right?
Yes,
But again, these helicopters companies, even the I mean huge companies, I mean construction companies or the projects, they can utilize them, right? These are the I mean property of our country, so they can utilize them. Since these projects may have good money, they can utilize them for the different sectors. And not only that, as I already said, this we must attract the Chinese and Indian tourists. But saying this thing, one must be very much aware about the health. See,
very true.
very much nicely managed, I mean airports, nicely managed aircraft. Helicopter companies, yeah, they what happening is most of the time Nepalese are flying only in the rescue mission. Okay, some when
Yes,
some sick, right, hospital
yes,
mission.
yes,
Otherwise, these are mostly the tourists. I mean, having a big money, they are going for Mount Everest, right? They are for
yes.
going for the trekking and all those things. But for them, it's a difficult scenario, and I hope that there is a very good coherent, I mean, unification with the uh, helicopter companies also, and people are very much, I mean, up to the standard to run their industries. So they must have worked hard. Again, we are, I mean, ready to serve them, and definitely their income will be very much lowered. They must work hard to attract the people again.
All right, and so there is a question from Sachin Pandey. While I was not connected, I don't think so. This question was taken. Or if the question has been taken, please let me know. So the question from Sachin Pandey is: what types of initiative that has been taken by Nepal Airline and the Nepal government to evacuate Nepali people from foreign countries? Did you take that question, sir? While I was disconnected.
I didn't take for this. This
All
is
right.
the, I mean, purely national level question and Nepal Airlines level question. So government must have think about the things. The high level committee uh, must have discussed about it. When they order for the flight, we are ready to serve.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that answer, sir. So, Ghanshyam, sir, can you hear us now? I see you live. Ah, all right. All right, sir. Back to the same old questions. I mean, I had to ask the same thing to Devendra sir regarding the role of Awan. So you were speaking something about Awan, but we couldn't hear. Can you just briefly explain us the role of Awan, sir, in days to come? Yeah. Mm. But we can hear you, sir. You can go ahead. Okay, sir. Thank you for that answer. Now, I would like to answer. There's a query made by Mr. Abhishek Basnyat regarding. He's thanked us. Thanked KFA Business School for organizing this session, despite of the glitches that we are having. We hope that we've been able to give you valuable insight on the different questions that have been raised. So his question is, will we be doing similar stuff for other sectors like hotel, energy, power, education, health, construction? Yes, of course, Mr. Abhishek. We will be coming live to you every week on Friday. You just need to log into your Facebook and, as I said, go to the official page of KFA and you'll find us over there. So there's another question from this might be the last question that I would take for today. There's a question raised by let me go through. There's a lady who's raised the question. There's a question from Miss Amita Pant. Her question is: Can't the government, once the pandemic is over, mandate that all government travel inland be done through airway? So is there a possibility of that?
That question is for me.
That question was originally for Ghanashyam sir. I don't. Can you hear us, Ghanashyam sir? All right, we've lost him again. So sorry for the inconvenience, viewers again. So I'll toss the question to you now. So as Ms. Amita is asking, can the government, once the pandemic is over, mandate that all government travel inland be done through airways, sir?
Is that feasible for all Nepalese people or the all people who want to travel by road or by buses? So that depends upon solely with the government level and the capacity of the people. I
Yes,
think so.
because we'll have to think about the pros and cons of that decision, and it's not only about the sector who can afford flying. It's
Mm.
also about the sector, and most percentage of the sector in our country are the ones who will not be able to, have any expenses for the travel through airline. So yes, a tricky and I guess a question which cannot be immediately addressed. Anyway, we hope that we've been able to address most of the questions for today and. So now I'm sure we'll have Ghanshyam sir again. So do you have any final message, sir, to give to our viewers and general public with regard to this COVID-19 pandemic?
Please remain safe. First, we should survive, then we can help others. So, the frontliners, especially doctors, flyers, immigration people, right? Marketing people, the counter people, they must be safe. We are, inside the room, but everybody should be safe first. Healthy people can serve the nation and the outside world. So what I want to request all the people who are observing us, who are monitoring us, is please remain safe. Please follow the instructions and guidelines by the government, by the international communities like WHO, and do not follow all those hanky panky words. Please follow those things. uh, Keep yourself safe and make others safe. If you are facing trouble, we please go to the doctors, take every suggestions from them, and hope that, and by the grace of God, because we believe in God, Nepal will be safe. We will revive soon. But the first thing is safety and health, and health should be maintained. And once again, I want to thank KFA. I want to thank the government of Nepal that is serving very nicely to this country, whereby this pandemic situation could not be spread very badly, right? And remain safe. That's all I can say.
Yes, the main point is to remain safe and remain at our house until the lockdown is open, and let's expect good things to come. So I might take one question, sir, if you allow me, because we want to end up with Ghanshyam sir also, speaking final message. Let's expect in the meantime you answer one question he gets online with us. So there's a question raised by Mr. Janak Adhikari. Will TIA support airlines not charging the landing and parking fees instead of deducting employee salary? What do you
Uh,
have to say about
TIA is also a part of this country. We want to make everything possible to support them. But as I already said that our management team or maybe board already have decided for not charging. for the parking, but landing, I don't think so. When aircrafts are landing, minimum they are, I mean, earning. So that way, I can answer, I mean, freely on that subject.
Very true, sir. Uh, so let's expect. Uh, we've been getting this positive vibes of things happening in a proper way in days to come in aviation industry. So there are a lot of challenges, and as we know that those challenges has to be addressed properly. So as I was going through the data, IATA has stated that there will be a downfall of passenger demand by 39% compared to the previous year, which is, for around 4.6 billions of passengers not flying in the aviation industry. So the challenge is very huge, but this doesn't mean, we do nothing and we stay at our home, or we just talk. We need to come into action, and we need to make things done to, eradicate this issue. There are scientists who are coming out with vaccines. Sooner or later, we'll have the vaccines prepared. But what till the time we don't have the vaccines? We need to run the economy. We need to run all the sectors. So let's join hands together and come out with a solution for this. So, Ghanashyam sir, I find you again. Can you hear me? So, so yes, I can hear you, sir. So the final message we would like to hear from you, sir, that you want to give to the viewers today and to the general public with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic. Very true, sir. Thank you so much. Smile is liked by everybody, and we Nepalese are ready to face any outcome of this pandemic, and we'll face it well. So, ending on that note, sir, I would like to sign out from today. So, thanks to all the viewers, and most particularly, thank you both the speakers for having us. Uh, giving us insightful information regarding the various topics we raised. So, thank you once again, everyone, and we will surely be joining you live next week on Friday at the same time from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or maybe even further. And we are again sorry for the inconvenience caused due to the glitches that we had in and out, sometimes. So we'll make sure such kind of glitches doesn't occur in further episodes. And catch us live, as I said again, next week. We'll come with other eminent personalities from different sectors speaking about their experiences, knowledge, and information, and enlightening us with the facts, and also making updating us with the latest affairs that is happening. So I sign out now, sir, and I guess we all need to sign out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. And as sir said, he is involved with Sita Air as the senior general manager. So we end up on that information, sir. And Jai Nepal, will see you soon.